and welcome to the SmackDown preview. I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture, joined by one of the Dudley boys from WhatCulture, Michael Hamflett, to look ahead to tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. We do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review Friday Night SmackDown, but the show formerly known as NXT 2.0, AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events, we have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a round of the week complete with a very good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, joined by Michael Hamflett to look ahead to tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Oh, no. It's not going to work, that, is it? Because I haven't got the soundboard. Because we are here in Las Vegas, Nevada for WrestleMania weekend in a very special place. Where are we right now, Michael Hamflett?
We are in the Aurora Bar, Wilbourn, the Aurora Bar in the Luxor Hotel and Casino. And the reason I'm telling you that is that if you are in Las Vegas this weekend for WrestleMania, you can join us right back here in the Aurora Bar after WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2. Simon Miller's going to be in live ups and downs. We're going to be having an after party. It's first come, first served. We got here yesterday. It is right next to the reception. If you are even passing trade in Las Vegas, believe me, anything is possible in the pyramid, and simply follow the beam. We are the closest casino to the Allegiant Stadium, and it's going to be the biggest and best after party in all of Las Vegas. That is, of course, following the biggest and best SmackDown watch along in all of Las Vegas at the HyperX Arena. By the time you're watching this, tickets might be sold out, so it's not technically a plug, but try whatculture.com/tickets, just in case if you happen to be here and you want one last thing to do if you want to watch SmackDown or something like that. Join us. The HyperX Arena is pretty much due north. Right in front of me as the crow flies. But yes, we're in the Aurora Bar right now. It's looking gorgeous behind us, gorgeous in front. The light above the bar are lit up beautifully, but nothing is going to shine as bright as our dumbass faces as Simon Miller does those ups and downs for WrestleMania. And we're away. And are we a bit too excited for SmackDown coverage? Because I know that over the years at this point, people have kind of like gotten used to a certain sort of quality and pedigree on this coverage.
Yeah, it's a certain amount of professionalism, yeah. Well, don't expect that because we are here. We're excited for SmackDown tonight, of course. And yeah, come to the live show. Don't buy a ticket for SmackDown if you're in Las Vegas. Come to our live show instead at the HyperX, because as you mentioned, live ups and downs, live WrestleMania preview, live stage dive from me, live show, and not only that, come for the WhatCulture live show and stay for the man who brought us lean gate valves himself. Mr. Lee Pickering is in Las Vegas. We saw him earlier, and we cannot wait to celebrate with him and you tonight in the HyperX. Very, very excited for the go-home show ahead of WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
So much to look forward to. And one would assume on this SmackDown, they are going to add maybe a couple more matches to WrestleMania. Randy Orton still without a match, of course, get well soon to Kevin Owens. And, well, we might as well talk about it now, seeing as we're going to talk about how it's probably going to devolve into, fingers crossed, a match at WrestleMania. I'm talking about the SmackDown Tag Team title match between the Street Profits and the Motor City Machine Guns. Because it better do. The amount of work that they've put in with all these teams for them to not get on the WrestleMania card would be criminal.
Yeah, I've seen this week Triple H doing various interviews and stuff where he's over, shut up, Mom and Dad, when there's been sort of like, I think, reasonable criticism about this build to WrestleMania. Look, can you hold this microphone for me just a second? I'm checking my temperature, and I'm going to check it right there, because it's still boiling hot here in Las Vegas. But the build hasn't been amazing, right? And part of that, if you look at the tag division, we look at the Street Profits defend the belts against the Motor City Machine Guns in a different time, and I'm only talking about 12 months ago. If I'd have said to you, you know what, go home SmackDown before WrestleMania is going to have the Motor City Machine Guns competing against the Street Profits for the tag team titles, you'd be buzzing, right?
Absolutely.
But it speaks to the booking being a little bit iffy, that the match doesn't feel mega hot, that it feels like it's going to be one of those nice but not amazing matches in the building. And the biggest conversation going around, certainly we've heard it in Las Vegas and indeed online, is that why is this not on the WrestleMania card? Why? You know, the Street Profits are one of those acts that for years have gone underserved, and when they finally win the belts, they still cannot get on the card. They're over in spite of the booking, in spite of the storytelling. So if anything, whereas normally I'd feel like the ladder match was a compromise, was a sort of Pretty Deadly need a spot and DIY need a spot. No, this time around I want it because they've earned it. WWE are not telling stories with SmackDown, but the one thing they're doing is letting wrestlers wrestle. And as a result, the crowds are kind of quiet and they're kind of indifferent or whatever. The one thing this division has got is the matches. The SmackDown GM, I wish, of all places in Las Vegas, I could remember his name. But he put that little diagram up and he was like, they're fighting them and they're fighting them. Other than that, there's no booking. It's just cold matches. The least you can do is take those wrestlers that have had all these cold matches and be like, just go and do it, all of you at the same time. Like, I'm not rooting for a non-finish, but I'm rooting for that match.
And I had loads of fun with the tag team ladder match last year as well.
Yeah.
So and you've got, in my opinion, better teams to go into this year. So I think it merits it. And yes, it's one of those things where it's like, well, you're on the SmackDown before WrestleMania. It's still not the same for me. And I do weirdly hope this tag title match ends in a schmoz and we get what would be a fatal 5-way.
Who have we got?
So we have, obviously, the champions. You have the Street Profits. You have the Motor City Machine Guns. You have DIY. You have Pretty Deadly. Yes, boy!
There's one more team that seemed to have tried to speak this WrestleMania match into existence. Carmelo Hayes, we love him. A total disturber in the SmackDown locker room. And The Miz, of course. Now, I don't need to read out his Wikipedia. He'll do that for you every single week. But like, I just couldn't land on a team. You got anything as a team name for these two? Because they're kind of disparate parts of the roster coming together.
Well, they are Mellow Don't Miss, and they are Him.
And what's just happened is that me and Wilbourn have not only created a 5-way, we've also created sentimental favourites to win the whole thing. So I guess we've also just predicted who we think are going to win the tag belts, which might not have made it into the WrestleMania predictions video that you can find with Wilbourn and Phil on the WhatCulture Wrestling channel right now.
It was a podcast. It's not a podcast.
But believe you me, we will be doing that bit all over again in the HyperX Arena if you're watching the WrestleMania preview, because when he says him like that, it's one of my favourite things he does.
Yeah, really, really excited for that. I would assume as well they hoy Randy Orton versus Solo Sikoa on the WrestleMania card. It's Randy Orton's 20th WrestleMania. He was going to be on the card. And I think Solo's kind of an ideal replacement in terms of he's someone who can eat a loss. It's, you know, it's going to feed nicely into the developments for the new Bloodline storyline, one would assume, because I think Jacob Fatu is leaving with the US title on the weekend. So I just think that makes all the sense in the world to add that match to the card. And I hope as well, on tonight's SmackDown, Chelsea Green finds a way to get herself onto WrestleMania as a host, hopefully by suing WWE with the help of Luca Crucifino from NXT, who's going to have bloody enough on his hands on Saturday morning by the looks of things. But let's continue talking about the go-home show ahead of WrestleMania for SmackDown. Would you do any more with Charlotte and Tiffany Stratton?
Well, they did too much for me last week. The car park brawl, while spirited and well performed and very much like a borrowing from the Cody and Kevin Owens one by the bus, if you remember. This idea that like a thing has happened and you're going to have to wait and find out what happened, or you have to go on Twitter or whatever. If the way it's shot was almost like a transgression and, that wasn't supposed to happen. The one problem I had with that is we're all old and wise. I mean, we're all in our 30s.
We're on 30s for now, yeah.
For now. I got offered 2 free drinks here at the Aurora from a member of staff who happened to know it when they checked my passport. I ain't in those 30s for much longer. That when you put them back together again on screen, and we said this last week, when you put them back together on screen, what does that do? That implies that all those wounds from 2 weeks ago have been healed. If nothing else, they can work together professionally for the good of the bigger picture. Great. But it was fun thinking they hated each other. Like, it was real fun. Like, in that ring, when Tiffany slid out, having got the last line in, and then the reports immediately flooded out that both had gone off script, that sense of, well, I need to see what's going to happen at WrestleMania, sort of was diluted by that. I would, like, rare for the women, give them the big Vegas pull apart. The idea that, like, they were in a car, they were in the ring, and it got nasty. They were in the car park, and they couldn't be stopped. Put these two in the ring.
You had to get involved last week.
Get him out there again. Get him out there. Like, so many security there. They're even getting Wade, and he delivers the boom, and he takes out a few security guards. Like, Wade gets to get physical ahead of WrestleMania. No, I would have them getting pulled apart. The idea that, like, again, we've talked about this before. They're only both in Vegas because they have to be.
Yes.
Like, at this point, SmackDown GM, God, still can't remember his name. Like, has said, it's too late. We're going to damage the main event. We're going to damage a big match at WrestleMania. My brand doesn't need this, but it's Vegas. Nobody's going to stop either of them being there when they're both in town anyway. Do the pull apart. Give them the biggest possible sort of like booking device that over the years has been used with men to really great effect.
Yeah.
We've used this example in the weeks leading up to WrestleMania. They did that go home angle and people still talk about it. Don't believe the hype. The build-up to Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair was not so good, Al. Like, you had Becky Lynch apologising to Triple H. You had the kind of infamous Charlotte Flair. Bad. Real bad. But that one angle on this night where the violence could not be contained is all people remember. If you can create something half as good, like, I don't know, so hypothetically, Tiffany Stratton is actually permitted to hit a moonsault on Charlotte Flair amongst a slew of bodies, you might be onto something. The heat is not going to be where it was 2 weeks ago, but you have one last chance to get it back there, and I think they could do it.
It could be a hell of a night for the security as well, because you assume they're going to have to try and keep apart Drew and Damian Priest as well, after Drew's attack last week. And let's not forget what happened when SmackDown went off the air last week. It was Jacob Fatu who stood tall over L.A. Knight, licking the belt and all that. So maybe, I don't know, maybe they've bulked up security for the evening or whatever.
What about if, like, security is, like, distracted and dragged away by Charlotte and Tiffany, that, like, Damien sees an opportunity or Drew sees an opportunity, and the fight breaks out and the SmackDown GM, oh, God, it's just like, I wasn't ready for this. I thought I'd double down on security, and they're all gone, and then that just allows the Drew and Damien Priest fight to just spiral out of control. You know what? Like, I will say, like, they have set the stakes with Drew and Damien Priest as high as they possible. We've both been quite high on this, but I've not, like, I would say our opinions, high. The stakes, high. Do you know one thing that's higher than both of those things? The 50-foot screen at the HyperX Arena. If you're watching SmackDown, watch it with us in Las Vegas. The people that couldn't get tickets for the live event, you know why? Because WWE's hard as balls. If you couldn't get tickets to SmackDown, or you frankly couldn't afford it, because I get that as well, join us at the HyperX Arena. But yeah, I think the idea that Drew and Damien have only just now started to get, like, the taste for blood. Yeah. Drew's stolen the item. It feels like that's a bit of PTSD from the Punk feud. He was like, well, it worked last time, I'll do it again. Like, I quite like that as a bit of a callback to the Punk feud. People are going to take the piss out of it, but don't listen to them. It was good then, and it's still good now. The idea that, like, Damien is going to go, you know how that worked for you last time against Punk? Not now. I'm just going to kick your ass and take it back. Like, he can, by no selling it, he basically sort of puts himself on a different level to the Punk story, and he's like, don't think that this is how you live. I'm a different beast. I'm a different problem for you to try and solve. I think they're ready. I'm bang up for this match at WrestleMania. One of the things I'm looking forward to the most. And to be absolutely fair to Drew McIntyre, somebody that, you know, seemed to want a story to get out that maybe this felt beneath him, he's gone in two-footed into this. And I'm kind of bang into this one.
Yeah, I really am looking forward to that over the weekend. As much as I'm looking forward to Jacob Fatu, unfortunately, killing LA Knight, who probably should get something tonight, considering he's just been battered every time he came face-to-face with Jacob Fatu. But he is losing on the weekend. Let's return to talking about Chelsea Green, because I love her so goddamn much. She is in a 6-woman match tonight. It is Chelsea Green and the Secret Hervis, that being Piper Niven and Alba Fire, of course, versus the woman who beat Chelsea Green after the referee went into business for himself or something, Zelina Vega, Kaden Carter, and Katana Chance, of course. I mean, I don't know what happens with Chelsea. Like, whether or not they go, right, bollocks, we'll just do the Zelina Vega match on the pay-per-view. Like, Zelina Vega's got a win over her. Yeah. Or if she just is celebrating and then, like I said, gets legal services involved and gets us. I just really want it on the WrestleMania card. And to be fair, I think this 6-woman should be really fun as well.
So here's the thing. Could this match be setting up not one, but 2 matches over WrestleMania weekend? Walk with me. Chelsea Green deserves a match on the card. The meritocracy has failed Chelsea Green for not being on this card already. We shouldn't be getting to the SmackDown before WrestleMania and her feeling let down, right? So it's not good.
Especially considering the women's IC champion.
She's a frigging champion. And but to be fair, we said this earlier as well, like the women's IC champion being in a tag match. Like, not as big a problem, but still a pretty big problem. They've kind of like let those secondary belts already fritter away. However, could tonight be the night that Zelina Vega gets her second victory over Chelsea Green, and then at the last, this match is added to either, and that's a compromise, the pre-show of WrestleMania, because there's nothing on there as a match, or the main card for one of the 2 nights. As part of that, the SmackDown GM, because the babyfaces win the 6-man, right, adds Kaden Carter and Katana Chance to the NXT Women's 4-way, where those teams will be competing for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter have been tweeting this week, and just in general, talking up the fact that they were a real tag team. It's just not kind of gone their way of late, that kind of thing. If all the baby faces win, Does that not potentially open the door for all of them to get a shot? For those that might not be aware, Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade joined a field. You might have seen this on NXT. Ava...
Jen's got to say name. She's Rock's daughter, general manager of NXT, of course. Booker and Booker of the Year, too.
Booked, and to prove that, booked a match for the NXT pre-show. It is a crime that Roxanne Perez is on there, actually. But booked a multi-woman tag team match to determine who would be the number one contenders to the WWE women's tag team titles. So, yes, there's that field of NXT ones, but...
Come on, Lash Legend.
Yeah, Lash Legend is Gar Jackson for me too. But the babyfaces winning here could potentially open up 2 separate title matches across the weekend. NXT in the T-Mobile is still looking to shift those last few tickets. The idea that you could put a bit of main roster buzz on there, the Secret Service, could be trying to do like a run-in, to stop the happening as part of the Foo-Ed. We will be there. If you're going from either our live show that goes on to the T-Mobile, or you're in Las Vegas and you're going to be there at 9:30 in the morning, well, we will too.
Yeah, I'm nervous about that one, to be honest, mate. But let's move on and talk about the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which takes place tonight. We don't know at time of recording anyone who's going to be in it, but we can assume certain names are going to be featured prominently in there, especially if they've not got anything going on at WrestleMania. In terms of favourites for this, I was looking a bit earlier today about who everyone else online is saying. Got very excited when I saw our boy Karrion Kross's name being mentioned in all of this. You've got the likes of Ludwig Kaiser, one of my new friends, of course. We met him earlier on today in the Luxor. We're recording this on Thursday, spoilers. But the favourite by far has to be one Rey Fénix, right?
Yeah, and I'm back in the favourite. Rey Fénix has kind of like started very promisingly on SmackDown, and I feel like at the moment we're having the same conversation every week, but it's a conversation I think is valuable. I love the prospect of Rey Fénix on SmackDown, Penta on Raw, having the singles runs, making a bit of magic.
Penta could be a champion by the end of this weekend.
Like, making magic on the main roster. Penta's entrance at WrestleMania is one of the things I'm most excited about. He does his hand signal thing. You want to check it out? Should have promoted that. Sorts of mass, maybe. I'm being a dick. No, the singles runs that ultimately end in them doing a Lucha Brothers run allows for both. You get both of them having great runs before you get to the tag stuff. Fénix is coming too late to get a WrestleMania match, but he hasn't come in too late to win this. Like, the thing about the Andrew is that it's a bit of a, it's potentially a poison chalice. It was Madcap Moss, yeah. It's potentially a bit of a poison chalice. Whilst on one hand, it's like an acknowledgement from the company. Big Bronson Reed got it last year. Yeah. Like, it's an acknowledgement from the company that it didn't work out, but we've got an eye on you. On the other hand, it is accidentally kind of a bit of a mid-card confirmation trophy. Like, there have been exceptions. I'm not suggesting that this is like a perfect rule, but sometimes it is just as simple as, say, for example, this year, Braun Strowman just recently returned, right? He's massive, he's class. You call him in a battle royal and he wins it. It is sometimes just as simple as that.
He won it before, he won it at 35.
Yeah, like, let's say, for example, that the tag match that we've pitched doesn't happen, so all of those wrestlers go in and you've got, I don't know, The Miz and Carmelo Hayes. My memory is terrible on this, but I've already forgotten what they're called.
They're called Melo Don't Miz, and they are awesome.
Every time. The point is that, like, there could be plenty of wrestlers on this roster, to your point, that aren't working WrestleMania, that simply get this as a token gesture, and that sometimes extends to the winner as well. I hope not. I'd go with Rey Fénix here. I think Penta stands a decent chance of winning the IC title at WrestleMania, or at least making like a very, very memorable moment in his attempt to do just that. Fénix getting it as well, and I've said this to you already, I want them to redo the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn bit of like, let's go get it done. Imagine Fénix stood there backstage, like, with a massive trophy next to him. Well, I've done my bit, you go do yours. Yes. Like, that first time of them on screen together is this moment of, like, genuine celebration between the two. Like, I want it. And Fénix getting that in Vegas of all places, when he's, like, had some of his best AEW moments, in this, I'm not saying that, like, everyone is going to have been to all the shows at the MGM Grand or the T-Mobile or wherever, but, like, Rey Fénix will be beloved here for anybody that's seen him work in AEW in the past. I think the reaction will be big for it. He won the Battle Royal, the one I'm talking, think about Jungle Boy, a great Battle Royal wrestler, and still brand new to so many WWE fans as well. He does, there's a move you love, where he runs across the top rope and it's like sorry, just in case people miss that.
I've never seen it before. He runs along the top rope and kicks someone in the face. I've never ever seen it anywhere else.
if we've not alienated by this point. It'd be nice to see Rey Fenix doing that stuff.
Not likely.
Surely not. I've just realised that we're sadly going to be unable to do a SmackDown review because, like, 3 events will have happened by the time we get to Monday. How's that going to work?
And no collision preview. What are we doing?
Hey, man. I
cleared the bar, by the way.
Yeah, everyone's left the Aurora, which isn't going to be the case after WrestleMania Night 1 and 2. Collision. I wonder if by the time we get to the HyperX we can get across that. Maybe stay tuned on that one. I'm going with Rey Fenix. I know that's maybe boring in Route 1 and you were like looking for like a different winner, but I just think it'd be cool. I just think it'd be really... Sorry, what the hell are you drinking?
I'm drinking a delicious Mountain Dew. 154% of my daily intake of sugar.
Myself and Adam Nicholas ran the strip this morning.
10K?
6.75 miles. I speak in miles, come on. And it was a lovely run. It was boiling hot. I drank a single bottle of Mountain Dew Code Red and I ate back a half of the calories burned. There is nothing like the greatest country in the friggin' world for pop options. And Mountain Dew, as always, is the king of the castle. You know what? I'm very aware that we're kind of keeping this on track. The boys are waiting to get the stuff done. We're just killing the game, but we haven't done what we would normally do on the SmackDown preview/review and talk about the things going on. Do you know why that is? Is because I got on the old plane ski. I hadn't seen. What are you laughing at? I hadn't seen either the Apprentice final or the Gladiators final. Because I'm in such a wrestling bubble, we are left with nothing but wrestling to actually talk about. It's happening everywhere. I was at Pandemonium Pro with Andy Murray today. Shout out Kevin Blackwood and Hechicero, who had an awesome main event. Shout out Masha Slamovich, who kicked fucking ass. Absolutely brilliant. We're going to various other shows tonight. You're kicking Wale Mania in a bit, Bloodsport and Progress later on. Simon Miller defending the Proteus title. As you watch this, you might know Simon Miller has retained the Proteus title in a match that is featuring Effie and Paul Walter Hauser. Miller's going to batter an Emmy Award winner. Never done that before. So yeah, it does this. It's basically, I'm just saying, we've like kind of talked about nothing but the card. And I just worry that we'll alienate people. You got anything going on?
Oh, well, I have seen the Gladiators one. I'm no spoilers here because I realise you're not going to be able to watch it for quite some time. All I will say, it is a hell of a roller coaster, that final. And I will say this isn't a spoiler, but it will get you very excited. What event should we pick for the final of Gladiators? Oh, all the best ones. Unleash. Check. The Edge. Check. It's just I love it so goddamn much. I'm going to miss it. Gladiators. What is going to fill our holes? The holes in our life that are going to be left by having no gladiators and no traitors. What's next? What is next on the docket for us?
Let's do something unprecedented in the coverage of SmackDown. Let's throw it to the viewers and listeners. Let us know what bollocks you want us to talk about when we get back in the UK, because believe it or not...
I watched Wildcards with Tony D in. I know about that.
When we get home, and I've got a little bit longer than Wilbourn, of course it's Phil and Fed's Excellent Adventure. Yeah. We're going via Salt Lake City, San Francisco, Seattle, Vancouver and Calgary. Wilbourn's heading home. But believe me, the first days of me no longer being in my 30s are going to be real sad. So any distraction that you've got, let me know. Let us know in the comments below.
Fill our holes in the comment section below.
That's what everybody's been saying.
What we've been saying. We want you to
fill our holes for SmackDown. Fill our holes. We'll workshop the catchphrase, but you get the gist. Let us know in the comments what we should put in the hole in our lives that's been left by no traitors and no gladiators. Fill our holes.
Right, I think that's it all done for the SmackDown preview. Oh, no, wait 1 second. John Cena and Cody Rhodes are on this show, and The Rock might show up because he hasn't been here since Elimination Chamber. Where you at, Dwayne? What's going on, mate? Huh? We were talking about this on the predictions video today. Phil was saying, like, maybe The Rock will show up. Bloody better. He's the whole kid list, Joe Watt, for John Cena's heel turn. You know, the biggest heel turn in wrestling ever. And he's just not been here. Do you think, before we talk about the face-off between John and Cody, it's not even confirmed as a face-off, they're just both confirmed to appear on this show, but come on, guys. Huh? 2 + 2 = potato. Right? It's on a t-shirt. It's great. But do you think The Rock shows up tonight on SmackDown? Please. Please. Honestly, if that happens whilst we're on stage at the HyperX, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not going to promise anything because I've already promised a stage dive.
I was going to say, if The Rock shows up, Wilbourn's doing his second stage dive. Yeah, we're going to be doing a SmackDown watch along with people, and if The Rock shows up, great, because that's our work done. Thank you very much, Dwayne. You could do us a favour. I think The Rock's turned up in Las Vegas in some capacity, because I ran past the Sphere this morning. If there was one thing that would fit that beautifully, it's Dwayne's big bald head. I think he might. I don't know. I don't want to false advertise on WWE's behalf, because we don't know. We do know that Cody Rhodes and John Cena will be under the same roof. And I will say, the last interaction they had already feels like about 6 years ago. Cody drilling Cena with the Crossroads in Glasgow? Can't be that long ago. Anyway, London, maybe? Weeks ago on Raw. Yeah. I love that this is happening now. This feels like a bonus. It feels like John Cena stuck an extra date on now. It wasn't advertised until about a week ago. Again, we're buzzing because we're going to get to watch it on the old 50-foot screen with everybody that's coming to HyperX. But I will say this, John Cena and Cody Rhodes have one last chance, with or without The Rock, to, at very least, make this match feel like it could have existed with or without The Rock. Like, he's been, in one respect, the catalyst for all of this. In another, nowhere near it, mate. I know you will obviously... The thing is, it's difficult for you because I'm talking very speculatively and I'm trying to fantasy book and I'm trying to enjoy the product as it's happening. You know all the scoops. You know where things are going. You're all steps ahead with Big Dwayne. So you'll probably know all this and you have to, play it down while we're on this podcast. But for me, as much as I would love to see The Rock, as much as I would love the reaction live in the building, like in Las Vegas, it'd be incredible. Like him flying in earlier on, doing a final boss promo. It'd be great. I need more from the two. I need more from the kid. It's going to be, ultimately, like, when the dust settles, when the rubber meets the road, it's going to be Cody Rhodes and John Cena in the main event of WrestleMania. It's about them two more than it's about anybody else. And I think it's reasonable to say that while the build has shown flashes and has shown moments between The Rock being so integral to the turn and then nothing else, and Cena's schedule, it's not been quite what we would have hoped and expected from the two of them. They have one incredible magic Las Vegas night to fix it. Rock or no Rock, if they can knock this one out the park, this might get them their My Way history revision thing. Bam, not a factor. Like, they might get their sort of, like, everybody, like, sort of the dust settles, John Cena wins the title, Cody Rhodes retains, whatever, and then we look back, we reflect on one amazing promo on the go home where it's like, God, that was good stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Erasing a lot of the kind of weird bumps in the road along the way. Like, they've got a big opportunity tonight, and I hope they smash it.
Yeah, I think so, because like you say, we've had sort of different versions of John Cena. I think I've liked it more than most, to be perfectly honest. I've liked the different sort of ways that John Cena has addressed each thing one at a time, because I did his first promo and people were like, why isn't he talking about The Rock? Why isn't he talking about the title? Then he subsequently went on to talk about the title. The big thing he hasn't mentioned is The Rock. And I think that happens, I would hope that happens tonight. And whether or not The Rock shows up here or on Sunday, this is the man who, let's not forget, he said he was 20 steps ahead. And, sorry, I've not got my calendar with me, Hamflett. It's April, but it's not early April, is it? What's the date in April that Night 2 of WrestleMania takes place on?
It's the 20th of April, Wilbourn.
Wait, 420 in Vegas? Lots to look forward to with all that. And is Stone Cold going to show up at WrestleMania as well? Imagine that. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I just feel like there's a piece of the puzzle missing basically, and I think whether it's like you say, just the two of them facing off to close out the show, or whether or not John's like, Cody, have you forgotten why I turned heel? It's not just to ruin wrestling and to take this belt away from you. It's because I sold my soul to this man, and the final boss could come out. I'd love to see it beforehand, or at least a tease of The Rock appearing at some point this weekend, preferably. But it's fascinating, and I think you just can't take your eyes off it. And it's been a weird. And to be honest, I think the thing is, with this whole John Cena thing and people being complacent about it, and I understand that, by the way. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I think everyone can take this in whatever way that they want. I've enjoyed it more, but maybe it's my thing that Sige often, quite rightly, complains about, where I say, no, let's see what this looks like in 6 months' time. By that I mean, when people are saying, well, he hasn't addressed this or this or this, that's because I think he's winning the title on Sunday, and then you've got 6 months of John Cena as a heel world champion, let's say, or so, for him to... He's not going to burn through all of it in the 6 weeks leading up to WrestleMania, basically. But again, that's the weird way that I kind of look at things sometimes when I'm optimistic about them. I can understand the frustrations, but like you say, that will all be forgotten tonight if Cody Rhodes and John Cena, whether they get physical or not, and that here's a question for you. Does it matter for you tonight if Cody and John Cena get physical or not, or is it about what they say ahead of Sunday? Because often it is, well, we're going to fight on Sunday, so why do you need the... Like, maybe another... I mean, the best... we don't know why I'm saying this, because I'm getting my hopes up again. The best version of events is The Rock bloodies up John Cena... bloodies up Cody Rhodes out in the rain again. First of all, it's Las Vegas. Rain will be a long shot, but if The Rock bloodied him up, would that give you flashes of what you're hoping for?
I mean, I want The Rock to rock bottom him on the beam of the Luxor Pyramid. All the way at the top, and Cody Rhodes just slides all the way down. It's the most stunning structure on the Las Vegas Strip. I don't know. The physicality point, just to answer your question, part of me thinks go route one. Let John Cena get the heat, get the revenge attack on Cody, because Cody was the last one that got something physical on him. Yeah. However, I do think the promo is more important. I do think there is still a little bit left to explore between these two men that feels real, that feels linked to The Rock, but feels authentic within their own little bubble, that just lets everybody know. Because I want to make something clear. I said this before Elimination Chamber. I think I was higher than you on the idea of John Cena versus Cody Rhodes before Chamber.
Oh, unquestionably.
I was happy with the babyface version of it. I was happy with the idea of, like, this is massive. And none of that has changed. In the building on WrestleMania Night 2, when you're watching anywhere in the world, this is going to feel massive. Match might suck ass, but this is going to feel massive. And sometimes massive greater than suck ass. Like, I don't do maths. I'm kind of more of a doctor. But, like, I did study that in my PhD. And I will say... That's right, yeah, you were just checking my qualifications, which is, as it's Taylor Swift wristband. Where you go over there?
OTJ.
See? Qualified. That confirms it. No, this is going to be huge, just like it was in, on all those Raw shows in the European tour, just like it will be on SmackDown tonight. And ultimately, the biggest story is always going to be in the reality of Cody Rhodes replacing John Cena, even if John Cena wins the WWE title. Yeah. Like, we're talking years from now, Cody will still be there, John Cena is ready to depart, all that kind of stuff. That will linger in the background, but for me, that's why a promo is more important. Make this hostility between them as hot as you possibly can. Have Cody say, look, I drilled you with the Crossroads. I told you I wanted the real one of you. Like, I have done everything I can to try and make sense of it. This is in character. Make sense of what you did to me at Elimination Chamber. And all I can land on is, you haven't got it anymore. And you need The Rock, and you need these, like, supposed advantages because you haven't got it. And then have John Cena be like, you think I haven't got it? I'm John Cena, mate. Like, I've got it before you even get out of bed in the morning. Just this idea that, like, you know how big it's going to feel on Sunday? Well, I do, because I've been that big a gazillion times. Oh, well done. You did your own little company. Oh, well done. You finally won in the main event of WrestleMania.
WrestleMania main event.
Good for you, Cody.
You won 50% of them.
He can even say, your big hero, your big mentor, Randy Orton, isn't he excited for his 20th WrestleMania? Ooh, 20 WrestleManias. How does it feel to be the biggest name on every one of them WrestleManias? I'm the only one that knows that. Because then you tease Backlash for St. Louis with Orton versus either Cody or John Cena. Yeah. Like, John Cena's got that trump card on every single wrestler. He's got it on the Dareman, he's got it on a Rattlesnake, he's even got it on The Rock himself. Yeah. And that almost puts over the fact, I wanted that guy's money, and I wanted his power, and I wanted his influence, but don't think it's because I needed it. It's just because I wanted it. Like, there are so many opportunities of things to get right for John Cena. Like, I'm just looking creatively for them to fill our holes. And I really think, what are you giggling at? Really thinking on this last SmackDown, this opportunity is sort of falling into the lap. I hope they do it.
One final alternative idea to that, because that was sensational, by the way. One alternative idea is, one way or another, I don't know, stealing Cody's dog or whatever, right? John Cena baits Cody Rhodes.
What's Cody Rhodes' dog called?
I'm getting there, don't worry. Right, so he steals Cody's dog, right, to bait him into getting physical, despite the fact that Cody's like, I don't need to get physical with you. I'm going to beat your ass on Sunday and retain my title. I've got your dog, Cody. I've got your dog, right? And where does he run with that dog? Well, where better than the Luxor? It's got sphinxes and stuff, right? Yeah, Egyptian, isn't it? Right? and he chased him into the wonderful Luxor. He chased him maybe even into the HyperX. You know, card subject to change, but that could happen if you want to join us, whatculture.com/tickets, right? So he baits him there, right? Cody gets in. Oh, Pharaoh, you're right. Unties him. And John Cena appears, and he says, I tricked you, Cody, right? Cody's like, what? You gonna hit me with a belt? You have Travis Scott to like wave some like herbs or whatever over me? And he's like, no. You see, this isn't just about me at WrestleMania. It's about the guy who I sold my soul to. And Cody's like, Dwayne, The Rock, come on. We all know his schedule. He's far too busy to show up on the SmackDown before WrestleMania. And John Cena looks at Cody Rhodes and says, anything's possible in the pyramid. And then The Rock shows up and bloodies him up, and there's your go home for WrestleMania, ladies and gentlemen.
And because anything's possible in the pyramid, Pharaoh joins the heels, and he becomes the final dog.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our SmackDown preview. Do let us know your thoughts on everything in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. You can follow us all on X at WhatCulture WWE. Whilst you can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
You can follow me at Adam Wilbourn. You can follow our brilliant producer at It's Adam Nicholas. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE, as I said. Make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. And, of course, keep an eye on the YouTube channel for all the WrestleMania stuff, basically. Enjoy SmackDown. We hope to see you at the HyperX, of course, tonight. But if not, we'll be bringing you all the fallout from SmackDown and WrestleMania in the coming days. For now, though, this has been the SmackDown preview, where we've talked about a possible Rock appearance. We've talked about Zelina Vega, Kaden Carter, and Katana Chance versus Chelsea Green and a Secret Hervis. We've talked about the tag team titles being on the line. Who wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal? John Cena and Cody Rhodes' final face-off. Basically, the WrestleMania go-home show.
The SmackDown preview. It's got all this and so much a raw rap.
See you soon.